important thing which we recently launched, it's a very good app, it's called Nivesh Mitra, which basically takes a fresh investor through the entire gamut of investing. So as I mentioned earlier, our website, it contains a plethora of information. You can get any and every kind of information on the website. You can mark TLH or transfer to legal heir in that particular transfer when you do it. So the income tax authorities will understand that this is only a transfer to a legal heir and not take it as capital gains. There is a magic word called compounding. Invest 100 rupees, you get 10 rupees interest on that. And then again you get a 10% interest on 110 rupees, etc. and your wealth keeps on growing. So essential thing is compounding, starting early and investing for the long term.
Hello and welcome to the Hindu special podcast on Capital Market Masterclass with the BSE, the erstwhile Bombay Stock Exchange, Asia's oldest stock exchange, and which completed 150 years recently. This is Lalatendu Mishra. I am Senior Deputy Editor of the Hindu. I am based in Mumbai. I have been covering capital markets for about 30 years. Today we are joined by Mr. Khushro Bulsara, who has been with the BSE for as long as years, that 30 years. Mr. Bulsara is the head of the Investor Protection Fund and also the Chief Risk Officer at the BSE. Today we'll ask him what the BSE is doing as far as investor education and protection is concerned. Mr. Bulsara, welcome to this show. If you can please tell us the relevance of investors in the capital market.
Thank you very much for having me, Mishra ji. For us, the investor is one of the single biggest and critical stakeholders. Because other than the investment, whatever charges etc. we get from investors who trade on the BSE platform, for us it's very important that we retain the investor and we educate the investor. In case the investor has a bad time in the market or is making consistent losses because of not being aware of certain products or not being aware of certain things he should not do, then he gets into losses and he may go away from the market. But I must say our Honorable FM also said some time back, Indian investors, hats off to them, they are the most resilient investors. They are there to support the markets even when the FIIs are pounding the markets and taking their money away. And so Indian investors are very resilient and we want that they should be better informed so that in times of distress when markets are down, when actually you should be investing more to get more out of your investment, that's the time they should stick on. So that is very, very important. So for us, investor does remain a very, very critical stakeholder.
How you are going ahead with educating investors what to do, what not to do, and how you are protecting their interest as far as BSE is concerned?
Sure. So we actually work in tandem with our market regulator SEBI and all the other MIIs, and we do a plethora of things for investors. Our reason for existence as the IPF, as it says, it originally was to pay the clients of defaulting members some amount in case they lose their money with a defaulting member. But slowly and gradually, as SEBI's reforms started strengthening and making the market more robust, the risk management became much more robust in the market. So the instances of default came down. So our focus gradually pivoted to making investors more aware about things they should do and not do. It's very important to not only say that you should not be doing this, but also tell them what they have to do, because we've noticed there are many times when a lot of investors enter the market, they do not know how to take the last mile step or last mile connectivity to actually getting started in investing. So we do a plethora of investor awareness programs, IAPs as we call it. Last year itself, it did around 14,000 investor awareness programs all over India in various regional languages depending on the location where the IAP is carried out. Then we did a huge campaign on the digital media where we use social media handles. BSE uses all the 4 social media handles, and touch wood, we've got 35 crore followers till date. So it's a very, very important and effective medium, especially as you would see that the newer investors who have started coming in are mainly young investors. So young investors also need to know how to get started in a safe manner. So that is what we try to reach out across. One important thing which we recently launched, it's a very good app, it's called Nivesh Mitra, which basically takes a fresh investor through the entire gamut of investing. So he's learning how to invest in a very safe environment because it's artificial money. It is not real money that he gets. So you download the mobile app and you have to start with first of all risk profiling. You need to know that at your age and with your knowledge level, with your goals, what is the right kind of profile of investing that you should go for, whether it should be more equity, only mutual funds, or it should be any other products. So first of all, there is detailed risk profiling done, and the app suggests what kind of mix of investment products that the investor should ideally go for. All these investment products are available on the app for investing. The second thing is we do a KYC, because whenever he goes to a broker, he will first have to do an eKYC. So we educate them. There are videos on how to do the eKYC, detailing step by step what documents you are required to give. Once you do your KYC, you are required to take a copy of the KYC back from the broker for your records. All that kind of stuff is explained in a very concise and professional manner. And after that, the investor can start investing. So we give them say 10 lakh rupees to start with. They can go for 20 lakh rupees. They can increase it by increments of 10 lakhs. It's up to them. And in a very safe environment with real live prices, which are 100 days back, which is as per the SEBI guidelines. The investor is actually able to practice investing in a live market environment without the risk of having losses. So suppose you make some wrong decisions and initially in the first day or 2 days itself you incur a big loss. You can always reset also. We've given that option. You go back, you learn something from this. Now go back and again start from the beginning with 10 lakh rupees and see how you are faring in your investment. So I think this is an excellent tool for investors to learn how to get started in the market in a very safe, secure manner. And for us, like I mentioned earlier, the investor is a very critical stakeholder. So we're very glad that this app is there. It's available on Android and iOS both. I would urge all investors, first-time investors especially, to practice on the Nivesh Mitra app before they enter the market.
Yeah. So there are a lot of literature available in social media. Today everybody has a phone and access to internet. What is the need for the BSE to do this?
Sir, actually the answer to your question lies in the question itself. So you mentioned there is so much of technology available, there's so much of information available. So sometimes what happens is there's a lot of technology or information overload. Investor doesn't know मैं किधर देखूं, मैं क्या करूं. So for that purpose we have got various platforms where the investor can look at. Number one, our website offers free information, free of charge, for all listed companies in India. You can get everything. You can get their financials, their shareholding pattern, the corporate announcements that they are making, what are the plans of the management, the balance sheet, and everything. Any entire, I would say, kundali of that particular corporate is available on our website. So that is for the investors who are already trading in the market who need to take investment decisions. For those who are still entering, like I mentioned, a very critical component of our target audience is the young investors. So young investors, as you very rightly mentioned, they are heavily into digital media. So we have taken social media and digital media as a very, very important component of our awareness campaign to reach out to investors. Like I mentioned earlier, we've already got 35 crore plus people who are connected to us through social media. I'll give you an example of how effective it is. So recently, SEBI had launched an important campaign in July and August. As you would know, there are a lot of reports in the media and everywhere all around us about people being scammed by frauds and scams which are happening, and people being fooled, a lot of money being taken, digital arrest happening. So SEBI launched an intensive 2-month campaign, July and August. We participated along with the other MIs. And we managed to reach out through all our social media handles with very innovative campaigns. One of them was snakes, the popular game Snakes and Ladders. So we had a game called Scams and Ladders, which shows that if you do the right things for investing, you can go up the ladder. And if you do not pay heed to what you should not do, then you can come down the ladder. So we put it out in newspapers, we put it out in digital media, and it received a fantastic response. In fact, we received a very positive news that Meta actually saw the popularity of this particular campaign that we carried out, and they approached the regulator saying that you all have done a fantastic thing. So we are very happy that this effort has resulted into a lot of awareness being spread amongst the investors in the market. So social media is again very, very important for us, and we have found out that going ahead also we will be focusing a lot on social media to reach out to all our target audiences. And as regards scams and frauds, we particularly would like to reach out to senior citizens, senior investors who are more likely to get scammed because of fear. So number one is why you lose money is number one is fear of missing out. Number two is ignorance. You may not know certain things, that if you receive a call, you should not be taking this, you should not be responding to the call, you should not be sharing your OTP, etc. So senior citizens also are a big focus for us to warn them about these kind of frauds and scams. So we are doing our best to reach out to all categories of investors.
Sir, in this context, communication is very important. Today the number of retail investors are growing even across the country. So how to reach out them, and what are the challenges in communication?
So the challenge in communication, of course, is holding their interest. So as you would know, in social media, if you put anything for 3 minutes or 5 minutes, people are not going to look at it. So we have to give what is called snacking bits to them. So bits of data and bytes of data which will give them the information needed without them saying that this is too long, itna lamba kaun dekhega. So that is very, very important. So we target that especially in our communications. Again, looking at the various target groups. So we have various kinds of activities that we do. We have radio jingles, we have newspaper advertisements, we have media partnerships, and we try to reach all targets, all sectors of our target audience as far as possible. And in this manner, our reach out is proving to be quite successful.
Yeah, for a retail investor, for a senior citizen or somebody, getting access to BSE, how to have easy access to BSE so that their grievances can be addressed. So what are the free or what are the resources the BSE is providing so that they can reach out to you and you can act on that?
So as I mentioned earlier, our website, it contains a plethora of information. You can get any and every kind of information on the website about our products, about our listed companies, about what is happening, changes in our schedules, etc., important SEBI circulars. In fact, I would just like to mention here that whenever SEBI takes out any circular that impacts investors and it is for the betterment of investors, then as IPF we proactively, not of course the circular comes out on the BSE website, but we proactively send it to all our smart trainers. So we have got approximately 200 smart trainers who are SEBI registered, who are empaneled with us and who deliver our lectures across India. We have 13 branch offices in India where we have got people stationed who deliver regular lectures along with SEBI officials at the respective local branches. And all of these people, they keep on, as soon as something new comes out, we send them snippets for them to communicate to the retail audience that this is something SEBI has done. For example, I think just 2 days back I saw a circular where if a nominee has got certain shares when somebody is deceased and he has to pass them on to the heirs. So SEBI has done a very, very nice thing, I think in collaboration with the government, where they are saying that if your nominee transfers to the heir, the nominee would have to pay capital gains. So they have said that you can mark TLH or transfer to legal heir in that particular transfer when you do it. So the income tax authorities will understand that this is only a transfer to a legal heir and not take it as capital gains. So this is something very wonderful that they have done for retail investors. Nominees will be of course more inclined now to do that, and it's a very good thing for the retail public at large. So these kind of things we like to spread out. We give the snippets, etc. And we try to involve investors, inform them as much as possible about things that are happening.
As the equity culture is growing in India, what will be your message for the investor and what do you want them to know?
You're right, the equity culture is growing a lot, and for that it's a very good thing. But it's very essential to know, number one, the basics of investing. So especially for the young people or even people who have just about entered the market and are 1 year into investing, 2-3 principles are very, very important. Number one, start young. The earlier you start on your investment journey, the more is the corpus of wealth that you will create for a comfortable life later on. Number two, there is a magic word called compounding. So compounding is essentially, as of course you would be aware, that if you invest 100 rupees, you get 10 rupees interest on that, and then again you get 10% interest on 110 rupees, etc., and your wealth keeps on growing. The magic of compounding is so immense that you will not realize when you start investing with, say you start doing a SIP in a mutual fund. You start with even a small amount of 1000 or 2000 rupees. If you do it for a protracted period of time, at least 5 to 7 years, It's like planting a plant, at your house. You put in a seed. Do you expect the plant will grow in the next 2 months or 3 months? It will not. But it's essential that you don't ignore the plant also. जैसे आप plant को water करते रहते हो, check करते रहते हो. Similarly, you should just look at your investments, what is happening. In case you feel, or you can take the advice of an expert, if you feel that a particular sector is not doing well, you would like to move, you can do that. But do not stop investing. Third thing, especially when the market falls, and for people who are investing in mutual funds, when you are doing a SIP, suppose I do a SIP of 5,000 rupees at an NAV of 10 rupees, so I get 500 units. When the market falls, my NAV may go to 8 rupees. A lot of investors typically get scared and they withdraw from the market, or they say, "Nahi, mujhe abhi nahi karna, I will go and put it into some other instrument." This is the big mistake they are making, because they do not realize that for the same 5,000 rupees, you will get more number of units. Instead of 500, you will get more units because the NAV has come down. So do not be influenced by short-term changes in the market. Look at long-term. The long-term is always king, and long-term equity markets have always returned a very good return to the investors. So essential thing is compounding, starting early, and investing for the long term. You will not fail with this kind of a strategy.
Mr. Bulsara, the World Investor Week is on, and what is BSE doing in this front?
So the World Investor Week is celebrated globally by ISCO, which is the organization for securities commissions all over India. It's like the SEBI market regulators all over the world. And it is celebrated in India this time between October 6th to 12th. So we are doing a lot of activities. First of all, to create a buzz. See, for us, investor awareness is not restricted to 1 week. It's always a 365-day effort by us. But for this 1 week, we try to highlight and make it a buzz so that there is some excitement amongst investors. They feel that they are getting to see something extra, something special. So we have got a human chain which we are going to do on the first day, where in a particular college we'll get students to form a WIW with some good investor message about BSE and how it is empowering investors, and then we'll drone shoot it, etc. We put it up on all our social media and our website. Then we are having a very innovative canvas painting competition, which will start advertising from today itself, and where we want the creative people to come and participate, and the messages that they will have to paint, or they will have to write or draw, whatever it is they want to do, it's up to them, will be all about the themes around which WIW is moving around. There are two major themes that have been identified by SEBI and ISCO. Number one is basics of investing. Number two is how to prevent and stay safe against scams and frauds. So these two themes people can use and submit their entries to us by email. And once they do that, we'll shortlist the winners. The winners will be recognized on our social media, which reaches out to 35 lakh followers. Sorry, earlier I said 35 crore, it's 35 lakhs. And then we will award prizes to them also. We'll give them cash prizes and see that they have a feeling of involvement, because that is what really matters. We are also doing something called Nukkad Natak. We have done it a couple of WIW celebrations earlier. We found it to be extremely effective. So what we do is, we do a Nukkad Natak, that is a street play in the different locations in India. This time, and our focus this year has always been on the Northeast, because we feel that the Northeast is a hitherto underdeveloped area where, in terms of financial literacy and in terms of investment. So that's where we are going to do Nukkad Nataks, which will talk about the dangers of how to prevent scams, frauds, how to do basic investing, stuff like that. It will be conducted in the local language. We are covering 4 states. We are doing around 12 or 15 cities. So we expect this to have a very good impact, and we will post short clips of that also on our website and on our social media, so that more investors who could not be present can enjoy the Nukkad Natak. Then we are also having certain other activities on digital. We are having a very, very big reach out. So like I mentioned earlier, we had this scam versus ladder creative that we put out. So we are planning to put out some other creatives on interesting games that we used to play when we were smaller, the games like Ludo, etc. So we are looking at that kind of involvement and that kind of reach out to investors who are in that group. And digital reach out we are also doing through radio jingles. We are having newspaper advertisements. We are reaching out, of course, through social media competitions. we are having quizzes. We are having a very important, interesting quiz, which is all the days of the WIW, that is October 6th to 12th. Every day we will select at least 10 winners who will be given vouchers of their choice. It's not that we'll only give them one particular type of voucher, but we'll give them vouchers of their choice. They can select it. And if somebody plays the quiz on every day of the week, that is all the 7 days of the week, and is one of the toppers, we will call them Quiz Ka Shahenshah.
Oh.
And we will give them special additional prizes for participating and taking that interest. So we have a very good team which is going to be there to back up, call the people who registered and ask them to start participating. So that's something which is very interesting that we're doing for World Investor Week.
Oh, great.
And of course, BSE is a very, very iconic building, as you all are aware. It is the barometer of the market. So we are going to illuminate the BSE building on all the 7 days with various colors. It will happen after 7 o'clock on Monday, 6th October. So I urge all of your readers, listeners, and all investors to come and click their photographs with the BSE. We are going to have a nice selfie booth near a very popular bull, big bull that we've got outside the BSE. So young people can come and take selfies, put it on their social media and enjoy themselves.
Great, 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 sir. Mr. Bulsara, you have been a veteran now, 30 years in BSE, continuously. What are the changes you have seen over the years in investor protection?
So I think, like I mentioned earlier, the focus earlier was of the Investors Protection Fund, which actually was set up even before SEBI came into existence. We were set up by a government mandate, by a government directive of the Ministry of Finance. And the mandate has then shifted to awareness and education. So what we are trying to do is, we've seen a sea change in how risk management measures have been taken by SEBI to protect investors. Two of the most significant changes I've seen in the capital market, I joined in 1996 in BSE. So two of the most significant changes that I have seen is, number one, the introduction of DMAT in 1999. Incidentally, as you would be aware, SEBI is credited, I would give full credit to SEBI for that, because we are one of the countries which has implemented DMAT for all investors in the fastest time in the world. It's a world record that we've got so many DMAT accounts opened up, and trading has shifted from the physical system to the DMAT system, which allows you to buy shares even in one market lot. Otherwise, if an investor wants to buy, he had earlier to buy minimum 50 or 100 shares depending on the face value of the share. So now you can just buy one share also. So that is the power of reaching out to the investors. Second biggest thing, in every dark cloud there is a silver lining. So when COVID happened and everybody was stuck to their houses, homes, and everything was down, so we approached SEBI that can we start doing investor awareness programs digitally. Hitherto they had all been done physically. So we started, SEBI was very kind enough to say that you should do it, and they told all other MIs to start doing it. And we started doing digital programs. That outreach was excellent. I mean, because people really had nothing to do but at least look at social media, and we could reach out to them digitally, we could reach out to them through webinars and educate them. So that led to a very big, large number of investors coming in. At the right time, SEBI came out with an excellent initiative of eKYC. So earlier for KYC, you would have to go to your broker's office, get your photograph taken, because there is a verification done, physical verification done of yourself along with your Aadhaar card and all. Now sitting at home, an investor could do eKYC and get started on his trading journey or investment journey within a matter of days. So this was an absolute game changer which brought in so many people, so many UCCs came in. Today BSE has got over 22 crore UCCs. Because of this, what happened in COVID, I think the silver lining has really turned out to be very good for investors. They are also able to participate in the prosperity and growth of the Indian capital market and the listed companies. So these two, I think, are very standout things for us. There are many, many other things which SEBI has done. Upfront margining, then upstreaming of margining. Direct payout is done to the investor's account instead of routing it through the broker's account. So all these are things which SEBI is constantly encouraging and thriving investors and empowering MIs to do stuff to reach out to investors and get them into that fold.
Yeah, they are very interesting times for investors. I think more investors will join the mainstream and help grow the economy. Thank you very much, Mr. Bulsara, for talking with us. We wish you all the best.
Thank you so much. Thank you.